everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a different type of video from what I usually do. I've been seeing a lot of other YouTubers doing videos about their tattoos, and I know a lot of you are wondering what type of tattoos I have, how many I have, and why I got them. So today, my video is my YouTube story. Because of my religion, if you don't already know, I am a Mormon. We're not supposed to get tattoos. According to the Mormon religion, our body is a temple and we should leave it the way God intended us to have it when we were born and when we die, which is a clean slate, no tattoos, no piercings, none of that stuff. So, sadly to say, I'm not a good Mormon, but I am still a Mormon. I still follow the religion, but tattoos to me are an expression of who you are, and sometimes you need to go through that pain or that feeling of just hearing that buzzing sound of the needle from the tattoo just to relieve any type of stress. So let's get started. I am now 29 years old, so I've had tattoos for over 11 years now, and technically, I have 9. If you connect them all, I have 9. But if you talk about every single time I've gone out to get a tattoo, I have about 14. And I have 1 that's due for a cover-up, and 2 that need to be finished. And I technically have about 3 in the woodworks that my artist knows about, so he's preparing to draw them up and do them. So, alright, I got my first tattoo in March of 2002. I was 19 years old, and I wasn't planning on getting a tattoo. My sister Kathleen was turning 18 that January, and I happened to still be in basic training at the time she turned 18. So when I was home for Christmas in 2001, I made a deal with her that if she, continued going to school and doing good in school, when I came home from my AIT, which is my job training, I would go ahead and, pay for her first tattoo because she'd be 18 years old. So I took her over to Buddy's Tattoo in Staten Island. He did a lot of mine. I love him, but as he got older, his work kind of showed less skill because of his eyesight, but I still love him, and he did a lot of my tattoos before I moved to New Jersey. So anyway, I took Kathleen to get her first tattoo, and at the time I was having some hearing issues, so I was on certain medication that kind of made me a little drowsy. I don't remember getting my first tattoo, so that, it's kind of bad. But you should never, ever, ever get a tattoo while you're high or you're drunk. It makes you bleed tremendously, and the color doesn't stay, so don't ever do that. And because I was so into being a soldier and everything, I got a tramp stamp. Back then it wasn't called a tramp stamp. Nobody really knew what it was called. It was just a tattoo on the lower back. So I got it, and it says U.S. Army. It's actually missing a dot by the S, and it's kind of fading, so I eventually want to cover that up, but I'll go ahead and show you that right now. Right there it says U.S. Army. And that was my first tattoo in 2002. So, okay, let's get to it. The next tattoo I didn't get until 2005, which was about 3 years after I got my first tattoo. I was about 23 years old, 22. I was 22 turning 23. I got that in July of 2005. I was preparing to head to Iraq for my first appointment from Fort Drum, New York, and being the fact that I am Irish, I'm Irish and German, but I claim my Irish side more, I got this Celtic Trinity knot. I don't know if you can see my necklace here. I got one of this upside down on my back, on my right shoulder, and I'll show you that in a minute, in the Irish colors, and that's like a form of protection. So I went ahead and I got that so it can protect me when I was in Iraq. And then over the course of the year that I was over there, my grandmother was getting sick. And what I didn't know was that she was diagnosed with another form of cancer because she was a breast cancer survivor. And when I came home from Iraq on July 17, 2006, my parents were there to greet me along with my baby sister, and they had told me that she was dying. And she was holding on until I came back from Iraq to know that, you know, I was safe at home being her first grandchild, so that she could go ahead and, excuse me, pass on, you know, back up into heaven. So this tattoo is actually in 2 parts, and she died on July 21st, 2006, and I was actually there with her. And when she did it, I was so distraught. I don't really remember when I got the second part of the tattoo, but 9 months later, in April 2007, my poppy had died. They say of a heart attack, I say of a broken heart. And so the first part of the tattoo is the Celtic training knot upside down in the Irish flag colors of green, white, and orange. And what I did after the passing of both my grandma and my poppy is I had their initials on either side of the tattoo, saying MA for Marie Anderson and CA for Charles Anderson. So I always know that they're protecting me and watching me. And let's see, how am I gonna do this? Here we go. Here we go. This is the second tattoo / I think 4th or 5th tattoo. And so that's that one. And so when I came back from Iraq, that summer, I also realized that I'm a lesbian, and you know, I came out to myself. And to start coming out to myself, even if I couldn't come out to friends or family, I wanted to do tattoos that express who I am. So the first part of it was just this tribal. This tribal was the only thing here at the time, and it was in gray. And you know, I've seen that on L Word, how Alice had like a band around her arm. So I thought that was so cool. So I got the band, and that was the first part. And I'm a Virgo, so what I did was I ended up getting the Virgo symbol. This has been retouched twice. The red doesn't stay that much, but I got the Virgo symbol. And because I am also, you know, I am a lesbian, rainbow colors, I got this tiny little heart on my left ankle, and I'll go ahead and I'll show you that now. Little heart in colors. And I did that so like when I was in PT gear, which is physical fitness gear in the Army, when I was working out and such, I can, you know, have that and nobody can really say nothing to me, but it was a way for me to express myself. So those were like my first 3 tattoos after coming back from Iraq, and that was all August of 2006. And from then on, I didn't really get too many tattoos. I was, you know, in the Army doing my thing, going, you know, living my life, and so that's what I had at the moment. So I get out of the Army in January 2008, and you know, I'm living my life as a lesbian. I'm back home in, you know, Staten Island, New York City, with my parents, and I'm just enjoying my life. I'm loving my life, you know, who I am and what I'm gonna be. And I just had this sense of happiness about me. And I don't know where I got this from, but I had this pendant that I used to wear as a choker. And it was a little silver pendant, about yay big, it was about a circle. And on the pendant on one side was this Chinese symbol. And then on the other side, it said happiness. And I just thought that was like the coolest thing. Like, it expressed who I was at the moment. I was very happy, so it was happiness. And my favorite color happens to be purple. It always has been. It's purple, black, and sky blue. And so what I ended up doing was I went to Buddy again, and I got this Chinese symbol, and I put an orange around it because I thought it made it pop. It looked awesome. And that's what I got. And that was in between April and July of 2008. And I didn't get any other tattoos until probably February of 2009. Those of you who may or may not know, I've been with my girlfriend Melissa for almost 4 years. This January will be 4 years. And we wanted to get matching tattoos. Now hold up before you say anything. I know what people are saying about this. Matching tattoos are stupid, they're hideous. If you guys end up breaking up, you're pretty much screwed and have that constant reminder of that other person. We thought about that when we did this. And here's the funny thing. I'm not going to tell you what her last name is, but we have the same initials. I'm Mary Blank and she's Melissa Blank. Our initials are MH. So what we end up doing was, I'm a righty and she's a lefty. We went to our tattoo artist, Marcel, here in New Jersey. Awesome guy. He's been doing all my tattoos since. And what we did was we put our initials, MH, behind our dominant ear. You can't really ever see it, but we know that it's there, and it's small. It's about an inch wide. It's about maybe quarter, maybe half an inch lengthwise. And so we each have them behind our ears, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. And it was just, something small we can get, and, something that we knew that only her and I had together. And it was really cute. I liked it. So from then, it gets kind of fuzzy. I don't remember my tattoos in any other areas. Well, I have them, I just don't remember the time frame. So I'll show you them and tell you them, but we'll get down to that when I get back. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. The next tattoo I'm going to talk about will be a pair of words that I have on, it's not really my forearm, but it's the side of my arm. And I found this quote and I thought it was, completely awesome, and it's completely true. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, "You weren't put on this earth to be ordinary," which is true. You are not put on this earth to be a clone, to do the same thing as everybody else and side by side and left, right, left and be in unison. You were put on this earth to be a completely different person. If you wanted to be the same, then we live in a land full of drones, which we don't. So that's on the sleeve. And then what I started to do with my tattoos, because I had this piece here and I had the tribal, was I like skulls. So what I started to do was do a half sleeve, and with the half sleeve turn into a full sleeve, and with the full sleeve turn completely into a full sleeve all the way up until right before my armpit. So I'm gonna have to stand up and show you, because this was done in about 3 or 4 sessions completely. So we're gonna start up here. And it starts with the swirls going up here. Like I said, I like purple, so I got purple in there. And then it comes down to the back. And we got skulls coming all the way down into here. And this was a second session here. The first session actually starts down here at the tip. I kind of wanted to leave space, so if I had to wear a dress shirt, I can cover it. and it kind of rolls into my wording, and it comes up. And then this is actually part of the newest ones. It starts here and it has a little rose right here coming on up with the skull with a rose on the head, as well as bit on the sleeve. And the originality of the skull with the rose was this piece right here that my artist printed out, and he kind of changed it a little bit. If you remember, my tattoo itself has the rose with the skull head, but then I also have a rose down here at the bottom, which is completely different. Another couple of tattoos I have is this one I do remember. I joined the Army September 10th, 2001, and I left for basic training November 6th, 2001. And so when September 6th, 2010 came, or 2011, excuse me, that was exactly 10 years since I joined the Army. And I got out in 2008, so it was, just shy. But what I did is I wanted to commemorate, if I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize, my dyslexia. And I wanted to commemorate, kind of like a full circle type spectrum of how I felt when I joined the military. And what I did was I have this kind of like heart kind of going into itself and out of itself on my left shoulder, and it's in sky blue, and I can go ahead and show you that right now. And it just kind of rotates all on into itself. And I had gotten that. I think a little bit before that. I do not remember when I got this one. This one is pretty special to me. I'm very much into the 1950s. If you look at my YouTube, it's, very old pinups and old models and stuff like that. So I love the 50s. And I was in the Army, and I'm graduating this August with my associates in medical assistance. I actually start my externship next week. And so I wanted to kind of combine those three loves. And it's 1950s, but it's kind of new age. It's a pinup in 1950 style in the new Army ACU colors with the weapon I carried when I was over there, which was an M4, and then a medic. She's sitting on a medic case in green and red with the Red Cross symbol, and she's got a pair of stethoscopes. So this is the original drawing that Marcel made for me, and I have this on my shoulder. It's not quite finished because he wants to add explosions and helicopters and desert sand to it, but this is what it looks like right now. So I absolutely love that piece. I have about maybe 2 more to show you. I am also very religious, and my favorite quote is from 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 7 and 8. And there are 3 words in that scripture that says, hope with all things, believe with all things, endure with all things. Faith, faith will, always be there, and it's always faith, hope, and charity. And I love roses. Roses are like one of my favorite flowers. If you didn't know, I actually like black roses because they don't die. They live on forever. And I am very religious. I don't wear crosses. I don't believe in carrying around Jesus around my neck. It's not what us Mormons do. We believe in Jesus Christ, but we don't feel the need to pray to a statue of him, watch him hanging on the cross. We knew he died for us. So what I did was, when I had this drawing made up, I made sure I didn't have Jesus on there. I had the words intricate. I was baptized Catholic because of my grandparents, and have my communion, so I do have rosary beads. And what I did is I just incorporated all those elements into this piece that Marcel made for me. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you that piece on me now. Alright. And so I love a lot of pieces like that. And then, of course, me and Melissa got another matching tattoo. I know, but again, it wasn't our dominant side this time, it was actually our non-dominant sides. And I got it on my left leg because I have that small heart piece down there. And she got it on her right leg because she has a giant piece on her left leg. So she got it on her right leg. And what she did was she got this full tribal thing on her leg, on her right leg, and it looks pretty awesome. Since I do have that heart on there, mine was chopped off at a certain point so I can have that heart on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you that leg piece now. And that's my tribal on my leg. So that would be all of my tattoos. That would be the United States Army. That was the Celtic knot with the initials. That was the tribal band on my arm. That was my Virgo symbol. That was the heart, the little heart. That was the Chinese symbol. That was my initials. Those were my words. My full sleeve tattoo with the partial extra piece of that tattoo. That was the heart on my back. That was the pinup girl. That was my Hope Faith charity. And then that was that tribal. A total of 14 tattoos. I have plenty more coming in June, right before Melissa's surgery. I will be getting a Marilyn Monroe piece. I don't know if you can see it. Well, I'm gonna put that piece. This is on my phone. And that will be on my side. And I'm gonna have a quote coming down. So that's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm gonna be covering up, I'm not really sure what with the U.S. Army quite yet. I love Tinkerbell. I am a girl. So eventually I will get Tinkerbell somewhere on my body. There is song lyrics that I'm going to be getting in retrospect of my parents, because if my dad didn't play this song during a time in their relationship, they may have not still been together and I wouldn't have been born. So these song lyrics kind of culminate their staying together and getting married and having me a year and a half, 2 years later. So I have a couple of those coming. Being Mormon, I don't have any actual Mormon tattoos, so I'm thinking of maybe getting a CTR right here. CTR stands for Choose the Right. It's a ring that you get when you make your baptism at 8 years old in the Mormon religion. So that is my tattoo video. Please rate, subscribe, like the video. If you have a video story you like to tell me, put that as a video response. I will put all the descriptions of every tattoo I have down below. I will also send you a link to my artist, Marcel, if you live in New Jersey. You can go ahead and check him out. He does amazing work. And tell me what you think of my tattoos, as well as my new idea for the CTR. I'm not much of a person to get a tattoo on my hand, but I don't know what else I should get, being that I'm Mormon. I already have my Irish tattoo, and I got my military. I got quite a few military tattoos, so what other tattoos do you think I should get, and where should I put them? So I definitely want to hear those feedbacks. And until next video, I will see you guys later.